the scorpion and the blind healer. Every wound carries within it the whisper of God, waiting to be heard. Sometimes, the most profound lessons find us in moments of fear. I was 6 years old, a child running barefoot through the warm dust of my village, where time seemed to move slowly and every corner carried the scent of the earth. That day, I had gone to visit my mother's cousin, innocent, curious, unaware that destiny was about to speak to me in its mysterious language. She asked me to fetch some clothes from her room. I still remember the texture of the fabric, soft beneath my small hands, and then, in an instant, a sharp sting. I looked down and saw something black moving, a scorpion disappearing into the shadows. The pain came like fire. My hand began to swell. The color drained from my skin and turned deep purple. I screamed, not just from pain, but from terror. I thought I was dying. Her young brother, a boy with kind eyes and a simple bicycle, came rushing in. "Don't worry, Naima," he said softly. "You're not going to die." There was something so pure in his voice, an innocence that held courage. He lifted me onto his bicycle and began to pedal as fast as his legs could move. The air rushed against my face, carrying both my tears and my prayers. It was Friday, the day of prayer, when the village fell silent and all hearts turned toward God. On the narrow path, we crossed the doctor. The boy shouted for help, but the doctor shook his head. "Not now," he said. "It's time for prayer." Even as a child, I couldn't understand how prayer could come before saving a life. But later, I would learn that sometimes the ones we expect to heal us are not meant to, because the healing must come from somewhere else. The boy took me to his home. His mother, a simple woman of faith, called the neighbor, a healer known for her wisdom of herbs and remedies. She cut the wound slightly, sprinkled salt into her mouth, and began to draw the poison out with her breath. Her eyes were focused, her hands trembling with devotion. She did it again and again, but the pain stayed. Then the father came home, a man everyone in the village knew. He was blind, but somehow he could see everything. He walked through the streets as if guided by an invisible light. He rode his bicycle without ever stumbling. People whispered that God had given him another kind of sight, the sight of the soul. He took my small hand between his palms and began to recite verses from the Quran, his voice calm, deep, and filled with something beyond understanding. Slowly, I felt the pain leaving my body. His hand started trembling. He asked, "How do you feel now, little one?" I whispered, "Better." He nodded gently. "Good," he said, "because now the pain is in me." And I saw it, the way his body flinched, how he breathed heavily. The pain had truly moved from me to him. Through his prayer, through his connection to God, he became a vessel that carried away my suffering. It was the first time I witnessed what true healing meant. Not medicine, not logic, but divine compassion moving through a human being. When he was done, the neighbor called again for the boy. "Find a baby frog," she said. It sounded strange, but he obeyed. He returned with a tiny frog, still damp from the river. They cut it open and placed it on my wound. I felt a strange cooling sensation, like the poison was being drawn out of me. The next day, the frog was dry, its body stiff and lifeless. It had absorbed what was meant to kill me. That day changed me. I didn't just survive a scorpion bite. I was awakened to the mystery of life, to the unseen forces that surround us, to the truth that healing is not always science. Sometimes it is faith, love, and the courage of others to carry your pain when you cannot. Years later, I would understand this experience as the beginning of my spiritual path. It taught me that pain can be sacred, that sometimes when we suffer, God sends people, or even small creatures, to remind us that we are never truly alone. It also taught me that the body remembers, that healing can happen through connection, and that divine energy moves where love flows freely. If you've ever felt poisoned by pain, by fear, by loss, remember this: there's always a way for the venom to leave your body. It might not look like you expect. It might come through prayer, through a kind word, through someone who sees what others don't. But it will come, because life, in its mysterious mercy, always finds a way to heal what it has wounded. And remember, every wound carries within it the whisper of God, waiting to be heard.